creature. Period.
Well, they've tried to emasculate Jesus, and I think the reason for doing that is to remove his moral authority and his ethical teachings and all the rest, and make everything relative. And it's almost to the point where I think there was a recent special on HBO or some of the cable networks where they made Jesus gay. What do you think of that?
I think there's you broke up there quite a bit, but I think there's two groups to talk about here in your last comments or question. The audio just
Okay.
kind of scrambled. There's two groups that hate a masculine Christ. They hate masculinity in your kids or your grandkids, listener. They loathe it. There's two main groups that do. It's the left and radical Islam. Because anything that lives in the testosterone-induced cloud that God and nature hardwired boys to dwell in, anything that celebrates being a provider, protector, hunter, and hero, anything that just loves that rarefied air of what makes a man different than a woman, man, he's going to be the pinata of postmodernism, because that kind of person, that kind of man, and you can be a male and not be a man, that kind of person, that kind of man is hard to control. And the left loves to control people. So that's why they're trying to turn Jesus into this gelded God, this neutered, savior. That's why they want, pastors to trim it back on the tough things in Scripture. Like Jesus preaches on hell all the time. Jesus' message all the time was repent. You don't hear repentance anymore. You don't hear any sermons on hell. Everybody who dies goes to heaven. It's like the eulogy in the grave sanctifies their impenitence for all their life. You see Christ going in his messages and his approach in a very masculine sense, a very I don't care what you think sense, a very I'm honoring the Father, not the stupid denominational central government of our network of churches. Didn't do that, man. And I tell you what, that's a breath of fresh air to this redneck.
No, I mean, exactly. I mean, as you say, I mean, they're trying to strip away the moral authority of his church. Basically, they're trying to make it all relative. Whatever feels good is good. There is no such thing as a teaching of right and wrong, and it's almost it's unfashionable to come out and identify those things. And the way they're doing it is, as you say in your book, they're wussifying Jesus as a way of, kind of trying to change his ministry and his message.
Yeah, lost you on that last bit, but they are definitely trying to scrub the gospel from the gospel. There's chunks of the book of Romans that you can't even preach on in most churches because it's so offensive. People, that get offended by the Bible, I tell them all the time, they said, do you know what you just said offended me? Like, first of all, I'm just a UPS guy. I'm just delivering the package to you. And he wrote it. If you're going to get pissed off with God, take it up with him. Or you can send me an email to I don't care, doc@idontcare.com. But there's stuff in the Scripture, Chuck, that I guarantee you don't like. There's stuff in the Scripture that I don't like. I'm talking as a sinful person. When I look at the Bible, it says, don't be arrogant, don't be angry, be forgiving, don't be a 10th-degree war dog. I wish all that stuff was in there, but it is. And because it's God's way, it's His truth. He equates, us being filled with His Spirit and walking in His truth is life abundantly. I've experienced it over the last 37 years of being a believer. I'm blown away what he's done in my stupid life. And I like the fact that, again, Christ narrows it down very succinctly to repentance, follow God with all your heart, and if you don't, you're not His disciple. And His definition of disciple in Matthew 10, Chuck, blow my mind. Absolutely blow your mind. If you love your mommy and daddy more than you love God, you can't be His disciple. If you deny me in front of people, I'll deny you in front of the Father when you die. I'm going to send you out without money, like sheep in the midst of wolves. And that's what he defined as his disciples. Now, you take a nominal Christian that eats nachos and goes to Life Park Community Church in Wheatley, Nutsack, Arkansas. We just call somebody who shows up, once a month a Christian. Jesus didn't do that. He had a whole different definition of what it meant to follow him.
No, and I mean it's something by which you can measure your life against and aspire to, and it's something that's it's objective, it's immutable, it's there, it's in print, it's he and it's consistent with the entire Bible. It's not all of this, and there are things in there that might make you uncomfortable, may not like it, but and we all fall short, as you say, we're all sinners. But it is there as a divine message that we can measure our lives against, and people who are trying to sort of wipe away portions of that message by redefining it, that's that's the work of Satan. I mean, that's the lie of the Garden of Eden. You can be like God. You can know good and evil. As opposed, you can overthrow God in heaven, which is what they're trying to do, and every generation has had people trying to do this right up till today.
Right. What I think is beautiful, and who the thumb, Chuck, it would have come from a guy who's married 3 times, he's a billionaire, former Playboy, named Donald J. Trump.
Yeah.
He's one of the Christians' best friends, and for Christians to crap on him and disparage him at every turn, for them to say, God would never use somebody like Donald Trump, and I'm not going to get behind him. First of all, to the knucklehead Christian thinks God would never use anybody like Donald Trump, I've got 5 things to tell you. Number 1, King David. Number 2, Abraham. 3, Moses. 4, Samson. And 5, Noah. King David committed adultery and had the guy murdered. Okay? That's King David who wrote the Psalms, right? Who was a prefigure of Christ to come in the Hebrew scripture. What did Samson do? Oh, he actually dated Chuck, a stormy Daniel. He had sex with a hooker. Yeah, he did. It's in the Bible. And you know what God did? He chose Samson to be a great leader in Israel and praised him in the book of Hebrews as having died in faith and didn't mention anything about the hooker stuff. Abraham, father of our faith, man. Abraham, what did he do? Well, he lied about being married twice. I don't think Trump's done that. Imagine if Trump lied about being married to Ivanka or Marla or Melania, and he gave his wife away to 2 different kings, King of Abimelech and another king.
Yeah.
And what's he do? Oh, Chuck, he had sex with his maid and gave birth to Hagar. Right? So you got adultery, you've got lying, you've got espionage. Samson can't keep trade secrets, tells where his string flies, where Israel's string fly. And then you got Noah, after he rocked up on new creation soil after the floodwaters subsided, he got wasted, Chuck, fell down without his pants on, laying there on the floor, just trying to sleep off a good weekend bender. All these guys got used for the stupid Christian. The idiotic, illiterate, what's another invective I can throw out there? Goofy, cross-eyed Christian to think that God would ever use somebody with a debauchery past. That's all he has to deal with. Sinners. And I'd love for somebody to follow these people who complain about Trump's past around and find out what they're doing in the present and what they did in their past. Sinners are the only thing that God has to deal with, and Trump's one of those. And I think what he's done for pro-life, our economy until the COVID-19 scandemic hit, and these race riots kicked up, but it's already coming back again. The economy, for Christianity, for religious freedom. Chuck, I think, and another thing that I think is great that he's done for ministers and talk show hosts like you, and other people that are in punditry in the public square, is that he's, like Reagan had trickle down economics. Trump has trickle down testicular fortitude. He's got trickle down testicular fortitude that's coming to people, and they're taking on folks who lie and who spread fake news, and he's doing it with boldness, and other people. Cowardice is sin. Bring to Revelation 21 verse 8, cowards go to the lake of fire. And I think for a Christian to be cowardice in this day where good is evil and evil is good, where darkness is called light and light is called darkness, for you not to pony up and dress this kind of stuff, dress this hard on, and head on with love, of course, but for you to cower in the corner and hide in this incredible day of the clash of civilization, or talk about something else in your church aside from the most pertinent topics that need to be addressed furtively with the scripture, is cowardice, and good luck with that when you die and go toe-to-toe with Jehovah.
There you go. And I think that, we want to have someone who is our leader who has sinned and who is an imperfect person. We don't expect perfection. Only God is perfect. And in the case of Donald Trump, you have someone who's learned from his mistakes. I mean, he spoke about how he learned by going out and actively gathering signatures for his nomination and meeting people face to face and actually listening to people's issues, and their lives, and it changed him. And I totally get that. I mean, it's and only the left demands perfection from people other than themselves anyway, because it's entirely situational. They don't give a damn about the background of their people, like Joe Biden or someone like that.
And there's some shady backgrounds in their backgrounds too.
Oh yeah.
I mean, look at Hillary's background. She's got a whole, litany of dead bodies.
Yeah, that's right. The body count. I mean, they talk about lust for power and just avarice and everything without even a remote amount of awareness, even let alone the sense of remorse. Everything is about physical power. Everything is about the power in this world. Anything can be justified to obtain that power because they believe that they're like the world's messiahs. They're the ones. They're replacing Christ. They're replacing God with their own earthly ability, allegedly. Of course, it's not true. It's a lie, but their own belief that they can transform people. They can transform nature.
Right. And also they're when I'm 57 years old. I went to a liberal university. I got a degree in a liberal arts college, and so I wasn't around right-wing lunatics. But the liberals that I interface with, going way back to like the JFK type liberals, those who follow, in his way. At least we could dialogue with them. At least what they were talking about, it wasn't dogma. It was ideas. And we had the clashing of, the cranium, the clash of ideas that Samuel Huntington talked about. And we did it over beers, and, we smoked cigars, and we, talk about the great things as much as somebody in their teens can talk about that kind of stuff. Now you pose a leftist, they'll burn your damn house down.
Oh, yeah.
They'll hashtag, they'll get you banned, Muslims on Facebook. We had 2 million followers, Chuck, on Facebook. My website, clashdaily.com. We were the top 25 publishers on Facebook month after month. They shut us down. We were at the apex of our power. 260 million page views. We had 10 to 20 million people reached per week, not year or month, but per week, 10 to 20 million. And then boom, no explanation. You're off. You're deplatformed because you see, Chuck, I'm spreading fake news, and I've got a fake account, and we spam people. We publish over 70,000 pieces of opinion and news stories. We had 4 wrong. 3 we corrected, 1 we just deleted because we got bamboozled. Stuff happens in the publishing world.
Right.
And check this out, as far as the fake accounts, I've been a national syndicated columnist and syndicated talk show host for 20 plus years in the biggest news portals in the United States. And I was blue check verified. They had my driver's license. I had to do a double verified login. They know it's not a fake account. My administrators and editors, Chuck, all of them, they had their IDs, 2 verified login, in regards to spamming people, I don't consider posting to my own Facebook page spamming, or to groups who love my stuff, who are overseen by a different administrator, who have done it. If they don't like what we're pushing, then they can cut us off, and then boom, no appeal, zero appeal, and that's the left. Their worldview is dogma. If you don't parrot it exactly, you're a heretic, and they're out to crush your influence, your voice. And you're seeing what they're doing in Seattle right now, turning that beautiful emerald city into a complete crap hole. And that's what the left does, my friends.
Doug, you bring up an issue that obviously affects me. I mean, as I try to launch this program, today I'm having all these technical problems. I don't know what the deal is with that, but I've been told by people who know that I've been shadow banned on YouTube and other networks. And I mean, and I'm just a small player. I mean, you're one of the major figures there, and they took you down. This is really what they have left as an ability to hold on to power and to win. And I guess that my question to you, Doug, is what can we do about it, if anything?
Right, so from a macro standpoint, there's got to be some conservative, good libertarian type people. I don't even care if they're conservative, but just liberty-minded folks. Okay? Care about this thing called free speech. Who care about our Constitution, our Bill of Rights, and the Declaration of Independence. And they appreciate our First and Second Amendment. They've got to start a competing company. What Zuckerberg and Bezos and Dempsey or whoever runs Twitter, they got to compete. Can't have these left folks running all the information. Conservatives, if you're listening, you need to find some deep pocket billionaires and compete with them. It's going to cost about $1 billion to build it out, because that's just the way it is nowadays. Secondly, what I would do is then you got to find some other platform. I'm not just talking to you specifically, Chuck, but or just understand this. In your build out, you need to understand that it's like remodeling a home that somebody else owns. You're going to build it, you're going to work it, and they're going to say, get your ass out of my house, it's mine now.
Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to diversify the platform. I've got about 7 or 8 different live stream platforms, and I've got several podcasting platforms as a way to hopefully deal with it when they do take down my YouTube channel. But these are not big players. I mean, it's not easy to do this. YouTube is the gold standard. I mean, it just is. It's the and it's controlled by Google. So, I mean, is there anything you can recommend, Doug, with regard to alternative platforms that we have now, as opposed to when we get some deep pocket billionaire come by?
So we got deep platforms in October 11, 2018. We're looking around, what's next, and we started a little channel on Roku. Television app, and I don't know anything about it. I'm not a tech guy at all. But it's not as monetized as Facebook was. I think hundreds of thousands of dollars for our Facebook instant articles. And with Trump's victory, we were projected in the next a couple of years to be in the tens of millions of dollars for our publishing company. And so Roku's not doing that. Roku Nightcast was developed by a Christian gentleman who wants to give fair to Midland voices in the political, cultural, and ecclesiastical world voice. That's weird. And so we went over there, and we've had hundreds of thousands of minutes of our videos played, and no complaints. Nobody's trying to shadow ban us. We're not getting any kind of ratchet down reach or anything kind of tomfoolery that Facebook is doing to us. And so Roku's one thing. Another bit of advice, Chuck, to you or anybody else who's got a message and you don't want to hide and stay in the corner. Build your mailing list. Build your mailing list big time. That's the strength of the Flash when they deplatformed us. We have like 300,000 people on the mailing list, and we're constantly building it.
Yeah, they can't take that away because that's print. So
Well, that's where Google comes in. So Google will start jacking with your email. That's what we found. Because everybody's on email. Everybody's got a Gmail account.
Sure.
So they start, tagging your emails junk or spam, and a lot of people think that they've been unsubscribed by us. Like, no, look at your spam or your junk folder. Like, boom, there it is. And what's interesting is that you never got junked, you never got spammed in regards to your mailers until Trump got elected. Folks, that's the left. They're pathetic.
Yeah. No, that's so true.
Can you imagine Trump being so fragile that you have to shut somebody down and completely, abridge their rights because you don't agree with them? What kind of chicken crap kind of worldview do you have if they can't stand the pressure of being brought under the microscope? It's just
well, they can't argue their positions, and I mean, I already had several blogger sites taken down by Google, including one that had 1,500 blogs, and but fortunately, I can look at them offline, so I was able to transfer most of them over to other blogs. But it's that blog site was getting a lot of hits, and it came to someone's attention, and someone blew the whistle on oh my goodness, a Trump supporter. We have to stop this. I mean, it is absolutely, since Trump was elected. I mean, right here in Massachusetts, where I live, the Attorney General, right after the election, set up a hotline so you could drop a dime on Trump supporters. I mean, it was just really, really ugly, and I think it's going to reach a fever pitch as we get closer to the election. They've already had their pandemic. Now they're having their riots where they can loot black neighborhoods and burn black businesses and kill black people. And I mean, what do you think they're going to do next?
Yeah, I think what we're going to see coming into the general election, Chuck, is going to make riots and the looting. What's going on in Seattle, St. Louis, New York, Chicago, all the little cities. And the crisis with that went through COVID, it's going to seem like a walk in the park. The socialists, the only recourse they have, because their message is untenable. Everywhere it's been tried has been found way wanting. And whatever gets implemented in the United States is going to have the same result and effect. It's going to collapse our country. So because their worldview is something that is, like I said, unpalatable to thinking people, their only recourse, at this juncture is now full-on bedlam, violence, and create as much catastrophic damage to cities and people that they vow and kiss their ring.
I mean, even today, I just saw the Drudge Report. They've toppled and defaced a statue of George Washington in Portland, Oregon. I mean, I don't think that's going to help them in November. I don't think most Americans, including most liberals, or at least a good slice of liberals, are going to go for the crap.
Yeah, same thing. I mean, here the Black Lives Matter protesters topple a statue of Abraham Lincoln.
Oh yeah.
In your state,
Yeah. Oh yeah. They're taking that down in Boston. Now, admittedly, that's not a, it is a rather offensive statue. I'll grant. But, it's Lincoln, and, you kind of understand it in the context of the times it was created.
Right. No, it's emotion. It's got, idiocy behind it, and George Soros millions.
Yeah, all his fingerprints are all over this thing, and I mean, I just think that what usually happens, and hopefully will happen, is that they just really step in it. They overstep their bounds. They show their cards a little too early, and people look at it and they're horrified. Average people, that is.
Yeah, but when I agree that is just all that they've done in the last, since Obama was elected. They always overplay their hand. They always walk away with an egg on their face. But there's something about, like, if you're dying as a human being and you're being attacked, which they think they are, you go to extreme measures, try to save yourself. I think I think they're so falling and collapsing in regards to their public relation. Everybody sees that they're kooky. They see occasional Cortex is nuttier than a squirrel turd. They see the capitulation of Nancy Pelosi, the whole party, getting the 4 or 5 or how many other of these junior senator congresspeople are. Every thinking person, liberal person, sees that party has lost its damn mind. So the people that are in there that think they have the control that are doing all this violent action is trying to shake the country down. Their only recourse was they cut themselves off from their party, or because of their extreme actions. They're just going to get desperate. They're going to do something way stupid, way violent, way extreme,
Well, I hope so. I mean, I hope it doesn't. No one gets hurt, but I hope that they show their hands and show their hand enough, and that we can increase President Trump's margin in November and the Congress. There were more black, by the way, there were more black candidates running as Republican than Democrat, and I'd like to see the Republican National Committee get behind them. They're really wasting an opportunity by not doing that, and they're not. They should be. But there's a great dynamic here. I mean, I really, who knows? I mean, these people will do anything. They tried to overthrow the government before by claiming Trump is a Russian spy. I don't know what they're going to pull next, and it's a worry. But I do think we're going to do well and do better. So.
I think Trump's going to win. The only thing that I hope for is I hope they actually get to debate. I want to watch Trump runs absolute circles around Sleepy Joe.
Oh yeah. I mean, I think that Rance Priebus has said it best. He goes, the best way for Trump to win is to get Joe Biden out, take him out of the basement, and debate him 4 or 5 times. Because the more people see Biden, the worse it is. He's dreadful.
Again, if I was a liberal, I'd be like, you gotta be kidding me. Biden's my candidate, and occasional Cortex, she's the mouth. She's the spokesperson for my party. I'm going to give a good look to libertarian or conservative, because these people have lost their ever-loving mind.
Yep. I mean, the dynamic could be the same as Nixon versus McGovern, right? And it took the Democratic Party 30 years to recover from that. And they ended up finally electing Clinton, who ran as a conservative. So, that's what I hope happens, and that's what I see happen.
Amen, bro.
Anyway, Doug, listen, I want to thank you for joining me. The book is If Masculinity is Toxic. Whoops, I just lost it. Hold it up. There it is. Called Jesus Radioactive. Doug, great. Yes, interesting. Good book. Thanks a lot, Doug.
Thank you, Joe.